welcome or welcome back to the channel. But this video is really just focusing on why I will not be having a reading goal this year. It's a little bit of a ramble at the beginning, so drink your water, have a snack, whatever. Hopefully I'm not gonna ramble too long. This video shouldn't be long. It should be no more than like 10 minutes. Okay, we're gonna keep this really short. But first, all the videos in December resurfaced with everybody online judging people for reading 100 books in a year, saying like, how can you read that many books, blah 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 blah, and it's so old. Like, let it go. People are able to read however many books they can read, okay? Everyone needs to just shut up and leave each other alone. Focus on your own goals. How about that? How about you figure out how to take care of your skin instead of talking about how many books somebody read? Like, mind your business. Why aren't people minding their business like they supposed to? It's so frustrating. Mind your business, okay? Mind your business. Dang. it's so ridiculous. But yeah, when it comes to reading, I've always had a goal for like the past like few years or so. I read about 18 books like 2023 or whatever. I didn't have any goals beforehand because I wasn't really reading, because in college I wasn't really reading any books, to be quite honest. In high school I didn't read all that much. I read Twilight. I read a few other books, but I wasn't really reading all that much because I didn't like being told to read, and then after being not told to read, I just didn't want to read. Because literally in English, if you're millennial, you know, we had to read books in class, and then we had to have like those discussions, read a chapter, answer questions or whatever, and we had to sit around and discuss the book in these chapters. And I did not read those books, okay? I never did. I went straight to Spark Notes. Okay, Spark Notes was still around. If y'all didn't know, Spark Notes was still around during that time when we were in high school. About, what was that, 2010 to 2014? Yes, it still existed, and I was on there daily, okay? Especially when it came to my English class, because I was like, I'm not reading this book. You're not about to tell me I have to read 3 chapters. What for? I'm not doing that. I'm gonna go to Spark Notes. And I passed all my English classes anyway. Every time we had a book discussion, I was on point, and I never read those books to save my life. I think the only time I did read a book was 1984, because the concept was interesting. I was like, oh man, what the hell is happening over here? But for the majority, I just didn't, because I didn't like being told to read. There was one book we read, and that was The Bell Jar by Sylvia Plath, and I didn't read it. I read the summary, and then I think I got to like chapter 15 where I was like, dang, maybe I should actually read this book. And I think it was like after that I actually did end up reading it completely. And it's just being told to read that made me not want to read. And then also just the fact that I was watching a lot of TV at the time too, so I really wasn't focusing on reading. And I also was writing a little bit. I wrote like poetry. That was like my main source of outlet, creative outlet that I was doing. I wrote songs. Outside of that, I was just extremely depressed, so I just didn't care to do anything else, to be quite honest, besides watch Jersey Shore all day. Like, I was that girl. MTV consumed me, okay? I watched almost everything on there. Hard Times of R.J. Berger, Awkward, Teen Mom, back in the days where Macy was, oh yeah, when Macy was on it, yeah. I was an MTV girly. I was watching a lot of TV, to be quite honest. So I really didn't have reading goals, and then I started to read a little bit, and I didn't have goals at the beginning. I read like 18 books one year, and then the next year I read a little bit more. So I've always been a little bit behind. Like I said before, I'm technologically behind, and reading wise I'm behind, and writing wise too, because depression consumed me, okay? I wasn't really like learning anything outside of school. I was like, I'm just doing the bare minimum to graduate, but whatever. And so when it came to actually having reading goals, I started to do it like really small. And the first time I did achieve, and then the second time I think I did achieve it too, but then I would say this year I did not achieve it, and I'm fine with that, mainly because I got a lot of writing done too. I got a lot of writing done. And in the year or so, year and a half, I started my main channel. I started this channel. I started Substack. So I was doing a whole lot of other things besides just reading. So it was like, I've been busy. Okay, I've been busy in all aspects, and also I do puzzles. My puzzles are over here in the corner on the floor, but I do puzzles, so I have other hobbies, so I wasn't really like reading all that much. I was playing Sims too. But Sims is dead now. Sims is dead to me. I'm not playing that thing ever again. But yeah, so the reason why I'm not gonna have any reading goals is just because I just don't care to, to be quite honest. And it's not anything towards like the authors or the publisher world, even though the publisher world right now is absolute garbage. I just don't care to have a reading goal whatsoever. I just don't care to. I just love reading whatever I'm interested in, and 99% of the time it's Black authors, and so I just like reading anything that I find interesting. And obviously I'm still gonna watch videos of people with their TBRs and write them down for maybe future read, but I really want to focus on reading the books that I have and going to the library, but not necessarily any goals per se, but just like really having fun with it. I would love to do like a monthly recap over here and really just talk about each book I had read that month. Maybe those videos will be a little bit longer, I'm not sure, but I really just want to have the intention to read and discuss the book like in real time, because I would wait to do my content and be like, oh, okay, I'll do this video at the end of the month, and then I'll have to go back through the book, or like I'll forget certain things. But I would love to just do it more in real time of like finishing a book, talking about it and discussing it. So yeah, really, I just don't want to do any reading goals. It just like have fun with it, just read what I want to read, get introduced to new authors, and just really just focus on the book and not necessarily the goals and the number, which is also why I don't have necessarily specific goals for myself this year either. Like I've made it an effort list, just coming up with certain things that I would like to achieve, but it doesn't have to be this year. It doesn't have to be very specific to me. It's just things that I would like to achieve. And so I'm just being very vague with it because anything is possible. So I'm not going to be very hardcore on myself to read like 100 books this year. And I will still be using Storygraph and putting it in there, but I'm not going to be like looking at the thing where it says like, oh, you need to read 9 more books and then you're on track. Like I'm not going to focus on that. Like even as I'm filming this at the end of December, I literally went to Storygraph and I put in a book that I had finished early on in December, and they were like, oh, 9 more books till you're on track. I was like, I'm not doing that. So just really just like not being so hard on myself to reach those specific goals, because it's like I'm doing it to myself, so why would I stress myself out to try to read 9 books at the end of the year? And then really, am I really actually consuming the book? Am I actually remembering the book? Or am I just doing it because to reach a certain number? Which for me, it's dumb. Other people, like if that's your specific goal, then cool. But me, nah, it's dumb and I'm not doing that. So yeah, that was just a short little ramble video about why I don't have any reading goals. But yeah, let me know in the comments what you guys are doing for 2026. If you have any reading goals or just goals in general, please let me know. And until next time, stay magical. Bye.